Worldton loves making things
Fun.
fun, and when she saw the topic, so this is why I should read this.
Read it ahead of time. My handwriting.
No.
Making them leisure.
And when she saw the topic of research, she wanted to cry. Data is so boring. She wanted to take the data and share it in a way that would keep you awake. The title is Love Your Guts. This is speech number 7. It's 5 to 7 minutes. Ariane.
I'm waiting. I saw you guys fiddling over. My phone has a speech timer if you need it.
Pardon me?
My phone has a speech timer app. If you need it.
Well, this one, she's teaching me how to do it. Okay, 5 to 7?
Yeah,
Did you say 10?
5 to 7. I hope it's not 10. Otherwise, I hope you're giving you lots of data.
20 minutes.
Those ones are going to be tricky. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I hate your guts. Well, sometimes I hate my guts too because they embarrass me sometimes. Have you ever been in a quiet, intimate moment or a public setting when something did not sit well with you and your stomach was going to give you away? Bloated, uncomfortable, you're like a balloon, and it's inevitable. You're going to fart. One evening, we were having dinner at my sister-in-law's house, and they're rather uptight and formal, we shall say. And the food tasted good, but my stomach, not having it, not going over well. And my sister-in-law said, "Hey, I want to give you a tour of my new house." So I was like, "Great." I was like, up here, right there, right there. And I followed her down to the storage room. Well, we're in the storage room. She shows us through. And as we're exiting, I'm thinking, perfect time. Perfect time to release some of that pressure I am struggling with. Everyone's leaving. It's perfect. So as we're leaving, I'm at the tail end, and I release the smelly prisoner. And I'm like, oh. To my horror, Ariane flips a 180, and she's like, "I forgot to show you something in that room!" And I'm like, "Oh." And as she comes in the room, she's like, "Oh my gosh." And she looks at the kids, and she's like, "Do one of you need to go poopy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who needs to go poopy?" I'm like, "You guys, there's a bathroom right down the hall. You should not be embarrassing your mother here." And the kids were like, "Ew, gross, that wasn't me." Well, Ariane, after military-style interrogation, realized it wasn't the kids, and she marched up to her husband upstairs and she said, "Kirk, you gotta go downstairs in the storage room. There is something rotting down there." I wanted to crawl under a table and die, but I held my composure. As Kirk ran down and was tearing things apart, he's like, "I smell it too. Where's it coming from?" I held my composure though, until we got in the car on the way home. My husband was like, "What was all of that fiasco about?" And I just simply said, "It was me." Now this was a turning point for me. A turning point where I realized I didn't hate my guts hated me, and I needed to find out why. So we're going to be talking about leaky gut today. I'm sure you guys have heard that phrase many times, but we're actually going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about the causes, the symptoms, and some solutions. The gut is kind of like this little rag, where it's got the little tiny holes in between. And what it does is it lets the good nutrients through, blocking the bacteria, the pathogens, the yeast. This is a healthy gut. Now, when it becomes a leaky gut, those holes become widened, and it makes room for large food particles, the bacteria, the yeast, all of the stuff you don't want to come through, which causes your immune system to kick in, inflammation, food sensitivities, all sorts of issues. Now I'm going to get a little audience participation here. What do you guys think the percentage is of people that struggle with some symptom of leaky gut? Raise your hands. Come on, guys.
80%.
I was supposed to get a few wrong answers first. She is right. 80%.
66%.
80%. So I'm guessing most of you in the room know someone or have struggled with one of these type of issues. Asthma, food allergies, psoriasis, thyroid. There are so many here. I know celiac disease is like rampant these days. Now, the causes. Why? Why does leaky gut happen? Well, it's everything we're putting into our body, combined with a few other things. The average American eats 22 teaspoons of sugar a day. Now that sounds unbelievable, but if you think about the amount of sodas people drink, that alone, one Dr. Pepper, like this size, has like 8. Not that hard to reach that, right? So we're adding sugar in, we're eating so much gluten and carbs, we're eating, we're over-medicated, and we also have so many chemicals and pesticides. So some of it is, out there, and some of it is what we're putting inside. Well, I'm going to tell you, I have at least 4 of these issues. Joint pain, I struggle with acne, digestive problems, and lack of energy. Now, that might not sound like much to you guys, but all my life, I have been a huge sport fanatic. I have played almost every sport imaginable in high school. I played volleyball, tennis, I did diving, I did track, I did basketball. Like, that is where I get my fun place. That's what I love. But 5 years ago, I had to stop running, because my knees were hurting too much, and I didn't know why. Then recently, I've had to stop volleyball, then basketball, then racquetball, because of my elbows and my knees. Not just my knees anymore, now my elbows. And I have quite a bit of pain, and I didn't want to make it worse, so I've just settled for it. Settled that this is how my life is going to be. But in the last month, I said, oh, hell no. It does not have to be this way. I've got to figure something out. I've spent so much money on massages and everything else on the exterior that, you know what? I need to look somewhere else. So, we're going to look at a few solutions. I know you guys are familiar with probiotics. It's the happy bacteria. This is the good stuff you want to put into your gut to balance out your levels of good and bad bacteria. Now the probiotics are hungry. And the prebiotics you feed to the probiotics to keep them flourishing for your gut flora. All of this boosts your immune system plus a million other results. Then we've got chromium and magnesium, which are some minerals that are naturally found in a lot of our vegetables and so forth. Chromium is a blood balancer. Magnesium is all about nerve, muscle, bones, and immunity strengthening. That's why I did the muscles, because it makes everything stronger. Now, this is a very abbreviated version of gut health, but I'm hoping it gives you some idea of what gut health is and where to start. I challenge you to pay attention to your bodies. How is it feeling? Are you tired? Are you moody? Do you have struggling with your weight? Do you have a lot of allergies? And look at that and think, maybe it's linked to this one issue that's curable. And in so doing, you might get to the point where you can say, I totally love your gut.